All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call haloyam Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are for sure and are for certain the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book of the Bible. All right, so I have this article here for you today. All right, going into microplastics, which basically is going into the poisoning of the food supply, the water supply. All right, and this is another reason, all right, another thing that shows you that we are living in hell. All right. Imagine, not being able to eat real food, which is what's actually happening. All right. In this current world and in this current age. Everything you eat is freaking garbage. Everything you put in your body is freaking garbage, man. Even the so-called organic food is defiled. All right, you could read about that in a book called Population Control by Jim Marrs. They just be passing it off as organic, man, when it's not really organic like that. I'm going to have to bring that out again as well. I did a video on that, going into a book called Population Control by Jim Marrs. It goes into that, man. These organic testers, they just be passing things through, man. The quality control of organic testing is very low. And this is the bro, we are living in hell, bro. Every time I eat food, bro, whenever I could take whatever I take a bite of, bro, I'm just always shaking my head, bro. Like, bro, this ain't even like, whether it's meat, chicken, beef, whatever, bro, fruits, we shaking my head like, bro, this, bro. If you don't think we are living in hell, then I don't know, bro. That's because you have no idea you're eating nothing but garbage. Literally poison and drugs, bro. That's all the food. That's all the food is, bro. That's all the food supply is. It's nothing but poison and drugs, chemicals, right? It only takes like 3-4 ingredients to make bread. But when you go to the store, the shit is like 40 ingredients in there, bro. For no damn reason. Well, we know why, right? Right? If you're not a dumbass, right? You should know. That's part of the depopulation process. All right? Of the New World Order, right? The elites have an agenda to bring forth a new world order. And part of that new world order is to depopulate the masses. Part of that new world order agenda is to depopulate the masses. Right? Look at the Georgia Guidestones. They want the global population to be reduced to 200 million. And there's over 8.5 million people on this earth. Right? We know why the water supply is being poisoned. The food supply is being poisoned. Chemtrails. The air is being poisoned. Your toothpaste is nothing but chemicals and poison. The water you drink, right? I did a video called VX nerve gas. That's what's in the chemtrails. Look up VX nerve gas. All right, but anyway, you know, this is another reason why we are living in hell. The food, man. That's just one of the reasons that show you that we're living in hell. All right, and this also goes into the prophecy, you know, of Ezekiel the 4th chapter. Matter of fact, let's get that right. I already got it brought up right here. Ezekiel 4, right? Ezekiel 4 and 13. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel, right? The children of Israel being you Negroes, you Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And the Lord Yahweh said, and the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. All right. So, you know, all over the world where we have been scattered, we're just eating garbage food, bro. None of the food is real. Everything is genetically modified, bro. Everything is ultra, not even super. Everything is ultra processed, bro. Right? Everything is ultra processed. Ultra processed, refined carbs and sugar and bleach. Bro, the bread they put bleached flour in the bread. Sugar in the bread, bro. Fake ass refined processed white sugar, which is also has bleach in it. A vegetable oil, right? No reason for it to be a fucking vegetable oils in the bread. The hell you putting sugar in bread for, bro? That's why when people come from other countries to America and they eat the bread, they be like, damn, this shit sweet as hell, bro. But anyway, all right, like I said, this goes into the prophecy of Ezekiel the 4th chapter. All right, and the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles. All right, whither I will drive them. All right, so let's finally get into this article, man. All right, so it says microplastics, all right, a 4.5-fold heart attack or stroke risk hidden in your food. All right, so it says researchers found microplastic concentrations in human brain tissue, right, 7 to 30 times higher than in liver or kidney tissue in the and we're not living in hell, bro. And this is all coming from the food, right? Ezekiel 4 and 13, right? Researchers found microplastic concentrations in human brain tissue 7 to 30 times higher than in liver or kidney tissue, with levels rising 50% between 2016 and 2024. This is why you got to eat the best as you can, bro. Right? You should be drinking nothing but water, right? And the microplastics come from the water, in the plastic bottles, bro. That's why it's best to drink out of glass, dog. All right? You could order a 5-gallon jug of water in a glass jug. You know? Because that's cheaper when you buy it by the 5-gallon. You know? All right? So it says patients with microplastics embedded in carotid artery plaque faced a 4.53-fold higher risk of heart attack, stroke, or death compared to those without detectable plastics. Right? It says studies detected plastic particles inside 80% of stroke-related blood clots, right? With higher concentrations linked to dangerous clotting activity, right? It says ultra-processed foods account for 55% of American calories and serve as a major delivery vehicle for microplastic exposure, right? That's ultra processed foods, man. The damn bread you be eating, bro. All this fucking frozen food and garbage and trash. Them Twinkies you be eating, bro. Just super candy you be eating, right? Ultra processed foods account for 55% of American calories, bro. Right? And serve as a major delivery vehicle for microplastic exposure. Practical steps to reduce exposure include replacing ultra processed foods, avoiding heated plastic containers, yeah, right? And filtering drinking water, yeah. All right, try to drink water out of bottles, man. Glass bottles. I'm not talking about plastic bottles, bro. Cuz that's garbage water too, even though, sometimes that's all we can get, right? Especially depending on a brother's situation. I drink, water from plastic bottles and stuff. But, whenever you can, because the main thing I drink is water, so whenever you can, just get it, you know, uh, from glass bottles, man. You know, get the 4-pack of the you can get like a 4-pack of Mountain Valley. I think maybe they got a higher pack amount, maybe an 8-pack, something like that. All you need is water and real fruit juice. Real fruit juice. I'm not talking about ultra processed sugar juice, juice, nigga, that you buy at the store. I'm talking about real fruit juice. Get some fruits and juice them. Buy a juicer and juice them. But anyway, it says the plastic invasion microplastic shards found in human arteries and brain tissue. Right? We got to get out of here, bro. This is why we want Yahweh Shai to come back. All right? You got to be bugged out, bro, to want to continue in this place. All right? After what I'm reading to you, Don't you see we're living in hell? Imagine wanting to continue in a place, in a world, the current age you're living in, where there's nothing but microplastics in food, man. Causing blood clots, right? Inside your brain tissue, right? It says the plastic invasion microscopic shards found in human arteries and brain tissue. All right. It says for the first time in medical history. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. Yeah, I can zoom in. Right. It says excuse me, I had a hiccup real quick. It says for the first time in medical history, researchers have extracted microscopic plastic fragments from diseased human artery walls and brain tissue, linking these particles to a 5.5-fold higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and death. Woo! All right. This is why we got it, especially those that are prophets out there. All right. We are the prophets, man. We got to make sure that we stay healthy so we can continue to teach and prophesy. Right? Just like Apostle Gabar said, man. You know? These foods you eat, and next thing you know, these are the same foods, that cause your liver, to shut, or your kidneys to shut, or, because these foods, these ultra super duper high, bro, ultra processed foods, bro. You niggas don't even be eating, y'all be eating ultra, like super duper ultimate, all right, optimal processed foods, bro. Y'all be eating crazy bro. These foods are retarded processed, dog. Right? Super genetically modified meat created in a lab is being sold to you, man. Right? It says published across multiple peer-reviewed journals in 2024 and 2025. These findings represent a turning point in understanding how environmental pollution, all right, silently damages human health. And this is all happening under Esau Edom's watch. This is what Esau Edom is doing to the masses. Right? See, the Lord gave this man time to rule this planet Earth, and he did it in wickedness because he is the wicked. All right? You think this is going to be done? When the righteous is ruling? When the righteous is ruling, when starting with Yahushua, when the kingdom of Israel is set up, starting with Yahushua, the other nations are going to, get what they get, right? But it's going to be in righteousness. We're not going to rule. We're not going to be putting drugs and chemicals, in the food. We're not going to be destroying the earth. Imagine, bro, that's wicked as hell, nigga. Genetically modifying food, dog. Splicing genes, right? Crossbreeding seeds, right? Because you're not supposed to mingle seeds. That's against the law. Right? You're not supposed to bring a seed, right? From one type of fruit. And then take another seed from another type of fruit. Crossbreed them. And now you got a hybrid. You got a new hybrid fruit. Right? A new creation. That's not natural. That's what Esau Edom be doing. That shit is wicked as hell, nigga. Right? Taking genes and DNAs, right? Altering DNAs of crops, of food, oranges, whatever, man. Strawberries, watermelon, Grapes don't got seeds no more. Right? There's a book called Alter Genes. Right? I went into that book, I think maybe once or twice. I forgot who wrote it. Right? But it's called something Alter Genes. Right? Altering DNA and splicing genes and genetically modifying and taking out certain genes, and this shit is crazy, bro. What Esau Edom be doing, bro. Right? It says these findings represent a turning point in understanding how environmental pollution silently damages human health. All right? Scientists at leading institutions, including those reporting in New England Journal of Medicine and Brain Health, have confirmed that microplastics and nanoplastics accumulate inside carotid artery plaque, all right, stroke related blood clots, and brain tissue at concentrations far exceeding other organs. Woo. These research the research reveals that these particles, measured in billionth of a meter, slip past the blood brain barrier and disrupt circulation from within. Woo. Right? It says the brain's growing plastic burden, right? That's why niggas can't think straight, right? It says human brain tissue now contains microplastics. Microplastic concentrations 7 to 30 times higher than liver or kidney tissue, according to research published in Brain Health. The burden increased roughly 50% between 2026 and 2024, with donors diagnosed with dementia carrying the heaviest concentrations. So people that got dementia, all right, got crazy microplastics in their brain. That's what's giving them that dementia. All right, blood clots in the brain, right? Right? Or that the blood not going to the brain like that, because of those microplastics, right? So it says with donors diagnosed with dementia carrying the heaviest concentrations. Researchers described the situation as a brain health emergency. All right, animal experiments showed polystyrene, all right, nanoparticles crossing the blood-brain barrier within 2 hours after oral exposure. This is why you gotta drink, bro. This is why you gotta fast and just drink glass water from a glass bottle, bro. Cause fasting resets the body, and then you just drinking that glass water, dog. All right. It says once inside, these particles trigger oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and disruption of gut microbiome signaling to the brain. All right. The 4.5-fold risk. All right. What the NEJM study revealed. All right. The most striking evidence comes from a major human study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, which followed 257 patients who underwent surgery to remove dangerous plaque buildup from neck arteries. Researchers tracked patients from nearly 34 months, for nearly 34 months, right? It says polyethylene, all right, was found in 58.4 of plaque samples, while 12.1% also contain polyvinyl chloride, right? Among patients without detectable plastics in plaque, 7.5 experienced a major cardiovascular event during follow-up. All right. Cardiovascular event during follow-up. It says, in contrast, 20% of patients with contaminated plaque suffered heart attack, stroke, or death even after adjusting for conventional risks such as diabetes, smoking, and high blood pressure. Researchers found a 4.53-fold higher risk among patients whose plaque contained plastics. Electron microscopy, all right, showed microscopy showed sharp-edged foreign particles lodged inside plaque, all right, microphages, right? Immune cells that normally clear damaged tissue. All right. Instead, these cells appear loaded with Bro, that's crazy, dog. All right. So what's supposed to be helping your body, that also is hit with microplastics, right? Instead, these cells appear loaded with microplastics. All right. Microscopic plastic fragments. All right. Many measuring under 1 micrometer, right? So it says ultra processed foods, right? The hidden delivery system, all right? And most people here in America, bro, that's all they eat is these super ultra cereals. Excuse me. Cereals and TV dinners and what else? Ice cream and bro, cookies and Oreos and Twinkies and bro, bagels and oh shit, man. You see? It says the connection between microplastics and human health cannot be separated from the American diet. A new CDC report confirms that ultra-processed foods now account for 55% of total calories consumed by Americans aged 1 and older. All right, with children consuming nearly 62% of their calories from these sources, dog. Because you simple ass niggas be feeding your kids bullshit. Soda. Right? McDonald's. You giving a kid 5 years old and younger some McDonald's, dog. Some McDonald's French fries, dog. The hell is wrong with you? Right? It says ultra processed foods serve as a delivery vehicle for microplastics because industrial packaging, heating, and mechanically processing exposed food to repeated plastic contact. The top sources, all right, include burgers, sandwiches, sweet baked goods, savory snacks, pizza, and sweetened drinks. All that bullshit, nigga. Literally, the only thing you should be drinking is water and real fruit juice, organic fruit juice, grape juice, tart cherry juice, coconut water, right? Real fruit juice. 100% organic fruit juice. The hell you doing drinking pink lemonade for? From Turkey Hill. Right? What's that other brand? All them damn brands, right? Minute Maid. Shit. Right? It says the economic impact the economic impact of plastic related diseases was estimated at 249 billion in 2018, with 5.5 billion attributed to PFAS exposure alone. Experts argue that the solution lies in systemic change, reducing reliance on plastic packaging. Yeah, you should package your food in glassware. You know, when you store food or cook food, all right, do it in glassware. Stainless steel pans, right? It says where was I at? Reducing reliance on plastic packaging, prioritizing whole foods, and overhauling chemical regulations. Yeah, like I've been saying, all right? While Europe is moving toward stricter policies, the U.S. remains behind, leaving consumers vulnerable to corporate self-regulation. That's why Americans are the most zombified, the most stupefied, slow and retarded, lazy, most obese people, right? Literally, the average American is so zombified and stupid, nigga, it's not even funny, dog. All right. So it says practical steps to reduce exposure. All right. So basically that's it. That's the end of the article, man. So yeah, man, we're living in hell. All right. I want to read this one. Where was it at? Right here it says the connection between microplastics and human health cannot be separated from the American diet. A new CDC report confirms that ultra-processed foods now account for 55% of total calories consumed by Americans age 1 and older, with children consuming nearly 62% of calories from the... Bro, that goes to show you, nigga, you zombified the day you born. All right? Because the milk formula done up out here too. That's why you're supposed to be breastfeeding. Duh. You gotta be stupid as hell to not breastfeed, bruh. If you're a woman with a child, nigga. Children consuming nearly 62% of calories from these sources, from these ultra-processed, zombified, microplastic, nanoparticle foods, bruh. Yahweh Shai gotta come back, man. And now, right? Call halal yum, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kwikdash. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Ratazah. This lesson is or was edifying, man. You gotta be... Like, I just don't know, bro. If you can't... Like, it's only gonna get to the elect. Only the elect is going to see and understand that we're living in hell. We need Yahweh Shai to come back. This place is done, bro. We need to be saved, bro. Straight up. All right, so on to the next one. Shalom, shalom.